Do you like my hair? I feel like it looks really shake. I tried doing something, but I don't know if it's giving. If it's not giving, then it's not meant to give. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Towie Talks, guys. A channel where we get to talk about a lot of things: self-love, personal growth, relationships, as well as lifestyle. But there's so much more that we also discuss outside of these topics. But in today's video, I'm leaning more towards the relationship part, and I feel like we haven't talked about anything to do with relationship in so long. So I want to venture into that today, and mostly I want to talk about the topic where most of us don't really discuss it, and most of us think we shouldn't really talk about it because in a way it makes us lose or feel like we're giving out too much to our partners and stuff like that. So before we get into this video, I hope you're subscribed to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on so that you're alerted every time I post a new video. Share this video with your family and friends, or share this channel with your family and friends and everybody that you care about, because why not? So let's get into the video. In today's video, guys, I want to talk about vulnerability in relationships, and how big of a role vulnerability plays. How big of a role vulnerability plays in your relationship. So you know how when you want to trust somebody, they obviously have to give you a part of themselves or a piece of themselves that you wouldn't have thought about, or you wouldn't have guessed, or you wouldn't even have um drilled them to give it to you, but they just give it willingly. That's vulnerability. So I feel like vulnerability is just letting people know you fully, like letting your partner know you fully, letting your partner know you fully, things that you think you would never tell them, things that you thought you'd never share with anyone. Your partner knows those things. Some call them weaknesses, some call them low points, but there are things that make you, there are things that contribute to you being a person. Now we're living in such a generation where we think we have to be perfect for our partners. We have to seem all happy, we have to seem all goody, like we're all good, like we don't go through things, we don't go through pain, we don't have our lows and our bottoms and stuff like that, like we don't hit rock bottom at some point. So in so doing, in trying to create a perfect image for your partner, you end up losing yourself. So now, instead of you being vulnerable towards this person, you're always looking to be strong. You don't, because the minute you show any form of weakness, god forbid, you're going to look stupid, right? But that is very pathetic, because if you're going to create trust in your relationship, and if you're going to create a strong connection with your partner, the thing that you can do is be truthful, be vulnerable. Because when you tell your partner that, okay, these are the things that make me hurt, these are the things that make me cry, these are the things that I've gone through in this life, that alone creates truth in your relationship, and it creates trust in your relationship. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, if you can trust me enough to tell me something so sensitive, something that makes you so vulnerable, then it means you trust me. Then why would I be looking somewhere else if my partner trusts me enough? Obviously I'm going to trust my partner as well, because I'm like, okay, you were comfortable enough to tell me such a thing about your life. Now another thing that vulnerability creates is honesty, because there's no way you can be lying about your feelings to your partner, or be lying about your loss to your partner. For what? Why would you want to lie? So in trying to be vulnerable, in you being vulnerable in your relationship, there's room for honesty, because you are sharing a part of yourself. And if you're going to lie about a part of yourself, you're not lying to just your partner, you're also lying to yourself. So you wouldn't obviously make up things, you wouldn't obviously make up issues just to please your partner, but you would tell them the truth. So honesty comes in when you're being vulnerable with your partner. And the only way you can be honest about your feelings is if deep down you know that this is the person you trust so much. Like, so the minute you trust that person is the minute you are honest with that person, regardless of what the truth is, regardless of what the truth might do. You know that, okay, even if I tell this person this, they still have my back. They wouldn't hold the truth against me. They wouldn't come and say, okay, because you told me this, then I'm going to do this and stuff like that. They would never do that. Then that's why you're trusting them to tell them that truth. So Vulnerability might seem as though you are being silly and you are being too open, you're sharing your secrets to people. But it's something that if you don't do it, you're only holding yourself back in that relationship. And okay, so you date for 3 years, you date for 2 years, you've never been vulnerable with this person, and you're saying, oh, we're gonna get married. Which marriage? If you can't trust them with the tiniest details about your life, or tiniest things that hurt you, make you hurt, then you shouldn't be with that person. And another thing is, oh, they're gonna use the vulnerabilities to hurt me. Then you shouldn't be dating that person, because nobody should use your weaknesses or your pain or your hurt or something that has traumatized you against you. Nobody should do that to you, not even your partner. If they're gonna do that to you, or even if you've shared something with them and they're gonna use that vulnerability to attack you when you're in an argument, you just know that this is not the person for you. Like, I think we've talked about being disrespected in a relationship or friendships. No one should use your past or hold your hurt, your pain against you, like, oh, this is why you don't do this. Nobody should do that for you. Now, when you've created trust, when you've created a room for honesty or a space for honesty, then obviously there's going to be a strong bond. You know how you're in pain and oh good lord, my neighbor's dogs are barking. Bro, really? Anyway, now that you've created trust, you've created honesty, a space for honesty, a room for honesty in your relationship, then obviously, guys, if you hear the dog, it's driving me mad, but I can't stop recording. So, yeah, I'm sorry. If you've created trust, if you've created room for honesty, then obviously your bond in the relationship is going to be strong. And a strong bond is what you need in a relationship. If your relationship is to survive, you need a strong bond, guys. That strong connection is very much needed, because it helps you understand where your partner is in life. It helps you understand where your partner is emotionally. It helps you understand everything, every dynamic in your relationship. It at least some itsy bitsy dynamics or some itsy bitsy pieces of your relationship. But if your bond is weak, then that's why when you hear something, the first thing that you do is you lash out. You won't even try to hear the side of your partner. You're just going to lash out. You're just going to break things off. What if it's a lie? What if it's a lie? But you make up conclusions basing on what other people have said and not what your partner has said. Now, if you know that your partner so well, if you have a strong bond with your partner, even if you hear something, you believe that, okay, no, my partner isn't capable of doing this. Now, before you make a conclusion, you discuss with your partner. So vulnerability helps you have that space, have that bond. Obviously, you just can't ask anyone about anything you've heard if there isn't that bond, if there isn't that connection, if there isn't that room for you guys to have a serious conversation. Now, if you're going to be in a relationship, make sure that the relationship is vulnerable for you, and it's a space for you to be vulnerable in. It's not just about your partner being vulnerable, but yourself as well being vulnerable towards your partner. Being hurting and being able to talk to your partner about how you're feeling, being able to express yourself in your relationship. That is vulnerability. But if you're not vulnerable yourself, your partner also won't be vulnerable. Now, this is where it gets interesting, guys. Vulnerability isn't stupidity. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Vulnerability isn't um you accepting defeat. This generation is so focused on not showing that you care, or not expressing yourself and yourself so much in a relationship, because the minute you do that, oh god forbid, you're so weak, you're so involved, you're so invested in that relationship, and it's very pathetic. It's really not. You choosing to love someone, you choosing to be intentional about someone, you choosing to be vulnerable around someone isn't stupid, isn't silly, isn't um being desperate. It's just you choosing to love someone with your heart, because love revolves around us. It's love that makes the world go around, you guys. So choose today to be vulnerable, because that is going to help your relationship. And if you're someone who is in a relationship and you're thinking, oh no, I can't be vulnerable around this person, you're probably in the wrong relationship. Because I trust me, the minute you're sad, the minute you're so happy, the first person you want to call is that partner. It's your partner. and you want to tell them everything. You want to tell them how you're doing, how sad you were during that day. And that is the best feeling, having someone you can trust, having someone who is in your corner and you can always talk to. So guys, be vulnerable in your relationships. If you can't be vulnerable around that person, you're probably with the wrong person. Let me end there before I ruin everything I've said. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you're going to share it with your family and friends and everybody that you care about, because why not? And subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, turn those post notifications on, because you want to be alerted. You know how we get. So yes, until my next video, you guys, peace.